Hello and welcome to Global Online. I am Chandni Swarnakar and today we are discussing language and acquisition part 3, right? We have already covered 2 parts. You can watch. Now, if you know that we are preparing for CTET exam for 2023, right? We are also covering PYQs and MCQs so that it will help you to ace the exam or to score better. With explanation, we are covering everything. Now, you can watch my lectures at 5 p.m. and this is going to be my 9th lecture, right? Apart from that, if you need any information, you can definitely contact here, right? So without wasting time, just let's jump into the first question. Now, the first question is, the way through which the art of using skill and practice is given to learn is called. What it is called? What? Through which the art of using skill and practice is given to learn is called learning. I already told you about it. So if you know the answer, you can just choose the answer and just leave the rest, right? Now, as you all know the first question answer, we should jump into the second one. Now, when language is learned naturally and without any systematic practice, it is called as. I told you that a way when you learn a language naturally and without any systematic practice, it is called acquisition, right? So it is going to be the third one is the correct answer, right? Now let's jump into the third question. A child has to use higher order mental process such as intelligence or reasoning in which types of learning. So here we need to go through the options. Now, motor skills basically use the muscle or daily habits, routines we use in daily life. For example, walking, running, these are. Okay, so it cannot be the answer. Speaking, as you all know, we do not need to discuss. Concept learning, when we understand the concept, ideas or categories, that is called concept learning. Verbal learning, verbally you learn about things. Okay, so that is verbal learning. So which one is the correct answer? Third one is the correct answer, right? Let's go now. Wait, you can read here, right? Concept learning, I have given you the details. Now, question number 24, as I know, which of the following is not correctly matched? Person, work, theory, publication. So I must tell you that I have already taught you about Chomsky. Okay, so you know that language and learning device is going to be with Chomsky. So it is not the correct one. Of course, C is not the correct one, right? And also the A is not the correct one. So even if you not have the idea about all the 3 options, you can definitely go with the answer, right answer, right? So if you know that C is the wrong one and A is the wrong one, of course it's not correctly matched the question is asking. So C, third one is the correct answer, right? Now, apart from that, we need to understand Pablo's theory and B.F. Skinner's theory, right? So let's understand that. Now, Ivan Pavlov's, the full name, Pavlov's classical conditioning. What is classical conditioning? So I must tell you that there is a stimulus, okay, that triggers in you the habit of something. Like you have just habit of something, but for example, if you have a habit of healthy meal, okay, and your mom is saying that, okay, let's eat your healthy food. So your mom's word is the stimuli that actually forces you to eat a healthy meal, right? So that is called classical conditioning. He has given the example of a dog, right? With the dog, he explained the concepts. So let's read the one. Now, the stages of principles, like for example, acquisition is the first stage, then extinction, spontaneous recovery, stimulus generalization, and a stimulus discrimination. Okay, I'll tell you more about it. Classical conditioning is based on habit formation. So it is all about habit, right? Whenever a question or option covers this habit word, you can definitely choose Ivan Pavlov's classical conditioning, right? Let's jump into the second one because we have already covered Chomsky's. Now, B.F. Skinner's theory of operant conditioning. So you must know that when behavior is followed by pleasant consequences, for example, so many teachers or parents usually say as that complete your homework. Okay, complete your homework will give you treat, right? Just top your class will give you treat, right? Oh, they usually say it. So it's a consequence, pleasant consequence. Because of that, we repeat some of our habits. That is called theory of operant condition, right? And that behavior which followed unpleasant consequence, for example, if you know that we read a book and we fall asleep, so that is an unpleasant consequence, so that we don't repeat it. Okay, so less likely to be repeated. When you feel that there is a pleasant consequences, we repeat a behavior. When you think that it is going to be an unpleasant consequence, so you do not need to repeat the consequence, less likely to be repeated, right? So that is called B.F. Skinner's theory of operant conditioning, right? Now, fifth question, state which is not true in context of learning and acquisition. Which is not true? I told you to not to focus on this, right? Now, acquisition is a natural process, of course, it's true. Learning is a continuous process, of course. Learning results in subject proficiency, of course, true. Now, fourth one, acquisition helps in cognitive abilities, of course not, because learning helps in cognitive abilities, right? So fourth is the correct one. Now, sixth, the acquired system or acquisition of a language is the acquired system. It is talking about language acquisition. Now, formal skills development, of course not. Subconscious process, of course, it's a subconscious process, because subconsciously we learn, we acquire a language when we are at home or when we are observing our family members or relatives. We subconsciously do it. So it's a subconscious process. Input output process, of course not. Self monitoring of learning, of course we don't monitor it. Automatically we get to know, right? So B2 is the correct answer. Now the seventh one. From the given factors, which one may not affect learning outcome? So which is not going to affect the learning outcome? You must focus on this, right? So learners' motivation and interest, of course, it is going to be a kind of a factor, okay? So it can affect. Structure and size of classroom, of course it can affect, because if there is a large group of students, it will be little more difficult for them to understand the concept or to ask questions to the teacher, right? Teacher's personality and attitude, of course it's important, very important. Now, parents' income and status, of course it is important, but not in the learning outcome, okay? You should focus on this. Sometimes we get confused. It is not important in the learning outcome, right? Eighth, which one of the theories based on habit formation says that humans or any creatures give response due to stimulus or humans learn due to stimulus? I told you about habit formation, right? So what is that? Classical conditioning. So do not need to read another one, okay? So you have already know about generalization, adaptation, we adapt something, operant condition, B.F. Skinner's concept, when we do likely to repeat a behavior when we think about the pleasant or consequences, okay? So we get pleasant consequences, we likely to repeat the behavior. Now, ninth, learning a language is a, so I'll tell you, gradual process. It's a gradual process, it's a continuous process, it's a systematic process, right? Now, last process, of course not. Instant process, definitely no. All inclusive process, definitely no, absolutely not. So first is the correct one. Now, last, a teacher is explaining a new concept in the class. Shreya knows the meaning of difficult words and concepts. You should focus on here. She also understands the concept without any difficulty. She is good in cognitive abilities, where it come from learning. Rote learning, rote memory is when repeatedly revise something, when you try to memorize something. Verbal ability, when you explain things or communicate well. Motor skills, daily habits, that includes muscles, right? Running, walking and all. So, which one is the correct answer? Cognitive abilities. Now we have done. I can also tell you that go and read this because you'll be able to understand rote, motor, cognitive, verbal abilities better, right? Now we have done the lecture. We'll meet in the another lecture, of course. And for now, all the very best. Go and read whatever you just learn right now, or practice as much as question as you can, right? All the best, and thank you so much.